What's up, y'all? I'm out here on the range under some clear blue skies. The sun is definitely heating stuff up, but I got a nice breeze blowing to keep me cooled off while I get some testing done out here. I got a couple more things on the agenda, and this one right here is going to be some more interesting 45 ACP. So y'all know the deal. We got the jelly contraption out here ready to go with a couple of chronos and 2 blocks of gel. Now, I've done only one test so far, and it behaved itself and stayed in this first block. Really interesting test, so I'll leave a link above if y'all hadn't seen that. Completely clear in this first one right here, and this whole complete half of this one, so we'll probably need a little bit of that. I'm hoping not, but I'm guessing we might. I got the heavy clothing barrier, of course, with a layer of denim fleece and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And what we got here is some more of them Smurf rounds. This time we got them in 45 ACP. We're talking about the Federal Syntech Defense SJHP. Now this one's a 205 grainer. As you can see, there's your cartridge and brass case with that blue coated projectile. It is a hollow point, but this is actually a segmenting hollow point. Now, as far as ballistics on this stuff, there's none on the box, but I did look up on their site and I wrote it down and completely left the stuff at home, but I know it was from a 5-inch barrel, and I want to say they only listed this stuff being in the 800s, so not real fast, and that was from a 5-inch barrel. Now, the 9mm I tested of this stuff did really good, and I'm pretty sure I even used my MC9 with the shorter barrel, and even it did a real nice job if I remember correctly, so hopefully this G30 that we're using out here still does a good job. But this stuff makes a lot of claims, and it actually backed it up in that 9mm. It's supposed to separate into 3 different segments and still have a core that keeps on trucking, and they even make the claim through heavy clothing it's still going to go 12 to 18 inches after it segments. So what we're going to test them out of here today, again, I've got a shorty in the G30. This has got a 3.8-inch barrel, so it's not real short, but it's definitely shorter than the 5 they claiming that came out of. And then we do have a 5-inch here too. We got the Rock Island 1911. So this ought to be a really interesting one. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what it does. I'm hoping it performs just as well as that 9, even out of the short barrel, but let's get it all set up and find out what it does. All right, let's see what kind of velocity we can squeeze out of these blueberries. I'm gonna do a 5-round average on both, starting with the shorty G30 first. Now, I did look up, sometimes I forget we're living in the modern age where we got the internet in our hands, so I looked it up. The velocity on this is claiming 970 from a 5-inch barrel, so a little faster than what I was remembering. If y'all not familiar with this lab radar, you're going to get multiple velocity readings. The large one is at the muzzle, 5 across the bottom. The first one is set at 3 yards, which is roughly where the gel is here at 10 feet, and then you've got 10, 15, 25, and 50. So let's see what we get. 970 they claiming out of a 5-inch, so we definitely don't expect that here, but hope we get something decent anyway. 832, 795, 744, 824, and 822. So one of them dropped a little low on us. 800s, I mean, that's gonna be a little sketchy for a 205. Let's check out the average. All right, so our 5-round average right there was 803 feet per second, extreme spread of 88 with a standard deviation of 36.0. That one low round, that 744, definitely dropped our average lower for whatever reason. 803, hopefully we get something on a little bit higher end, but even that on the higher end is only in the low 800s. So I don't know, maybe these things are engineered really well. Well, let's change over to the Rock Island 5-inch and see what happens. All right, let's see what the 5-inch does for it. 970 is what we're looking for. Based on what we just saw from the 3.8-inch, I really doubt we're gonna hit 970. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I'm seriously doubting it. 866, 892, 870, 873, and 906. So we had one jump up on us at the end there. The rest of them not too swift. Let's check out the average. All right, so definitely faster from that and more consistent, but not a whole lot. Our average that time was 882 feet per second. And again, remember we were looking for 970. Extreme spread that time was 40 with a standard deviation of 16.8. The highest we saw out of that one was 906. So I think those are probably still going to do all right because they've got to know what they got here. I mean, surely they they designed this stuff well enough to segment at these kind of speeds, but who knows. 882 here, and if you do remember off the shorty, it was only 803, so you're talking about just 79 feet per second. That's about what I figured from just a little over an inch more barrel. So again, I'm a little bit iffy on these, but hopefully they do well. Let's get this stuff set up and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's Gargamel and Adriel jelly time. I'm gonna put one from each barrel length into the gel, starting with this G30 first. This one, I mean, honestly, the only reason I've got any hope for this one right here is just based on the good performance from the 9mm. Although this is a vastly different creature from the 9mm, so I just don't know about this low velocity, but hopefully they accounted for that. No, they definitely didn't account for that because it went right where I wanted it, but I saw those towels move. Let me go check it out. All right, y'all, that one actually didn't go the distance, but it's so close that the force of it moved the towels down there. That's why I could see the towels move. So absolute failure right there. Now I'm worried about this one even because, I mean, it's 900. It's off of the velocity they were claiming. Maybe they accounted for a little bit anyway. I just saw the towels move again. I think we got two fails right here. Let's go see what we got. All right, let's check this stuff out down here. It goes without saying, I think, that this is definitely not Smurf-tastic by any means. This was a double fail all day long. I mean, a hard double fail. As you can see, I've got you pulled all the way back because these things came literally within an inch of going completely out of both blocks. On the top there, not much to see. I mean, both of them look about the same. Comes in here, very, very little disruption at all because nothing happened. It just went straight through this first block of gel, all the way through the second block, and then I think you can see it down there. I'll pull you in closer here in a second, but it's completely intact and about an inch from the end of that second block. And the same exact thing on the bottom from the 5-inch. As you can see, comes in nothing but a straight line all the way through this gel into the second block there. You can see it keeping on going, nothing but a straight line, and there sitting down there towards the bottom is the projectile with absolutely no kind of fragmentation, no segmentation, no nothing, and just about the same exact penetration right there within an inch of the end of the gel. But let's get the measurement so I'll know for sure exactly. The one on the top here from the G30 is, 31¼ inches. The one on the bottom from the 5-inch Rock Island is exactly the same, 31¼ inches from both of these. So you just had absolute failure. Here's a closer look so you can tell what happened there. Absolutely nothing. I mean, you can see both of them, top and bottom, completely through this first block. If we keep on going, the top one there, we'll follow it. There's your projectile from it. If we go back to the bottom, there's that one, and you can see nothing but straight line all the way through. Same thing from the top view, both of them. No kind of disruption, straight line all the way through here, through this second block, and almost to the very end. You can see both of them. All right, let's take us a quick look at these projectiles. Not much to see here, just a couple of sad looking intact blueberries. No segmentation, no real even deformation that I can see. No difference between them at all. So just a complete lack of velocity needed to get these things to do what they were supposed to do. Makes you wonder, like even at 970, would this thing actually break apart? It sure doesn't look like it from here, but who knows. But we'll get a few measurements on them anyway and see what they got. They started at 205 as far as weight. That one's at 204.8, and this one here is 205.0, so obviously nothing lost. And then as far as size measurements, I guess we'll get a base and a length. You got one with a length of 0.60, and then one again with a length of 596. So there you go, y'all, the Federal Syntech segmenting hollow point in 45 ACP. absolute double fail right here. Absolute failure from both of these. They just didn't have the velocity, is what it looks like to me. And when I saw that low velocity, I thought the worst, but being that that 9mm did so well, like I mentioned, I was hoping that this stuff was engineered well enough to do something at that low velocity, but I should have known better. 45 ACP is already a finicky one, especially out of shorter barrels, so at those kind of velocities, so far off from what they're supposed to have, there was just no hope. So unfortunately, as good as that 9mm performed, this 45 ACP would be an absolute no-go for me. All right, y'all, that's a wrap for a really disappointing 45 ACP round. Absolute failure from this stuff right here. Very disappointing because after seeing the 9mm, I think that stuff did really, really well for this type of round. I was hoping to see the same from this, especially from the short barrel. Probably wishful thinking, I know, but it's tricky to get a 45 ACP round in a short barrel to do well, so I was hoping anyway. I'm not sure what other calibers they make this stuff in, but I'd be interested in checking some more of it out. I think they do make it in 40 Smith & Wesson, but I don't know about anything else. Let me know down in the comments what y'all's thoughts are on it. Do any of y'all out there have some of this stuff right here? Have you done any kind of tested on it yourself and saw the same results? After seeing this, what do you think about it? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you take a second and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you got them notifications turned on so you get notified when I upload stuff. Take a minute, like I always remind you, if you're doing some shopping, and hit up those affiliate links in the video description. Anything you buy after checking those links out, I get a kickback from them towards the channel, so I really appreciate that. Big thanks again to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel. I've got one more interesting test plan that should go a whole lot better than this one, so stay on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.